The composition division fallacy happens when someone assumes that what's true for the parts must also be true for the whole. That's the composition part of the fallacy. Or somebody might argue that what's true for the whole is true for the parts. That's the division part of the fallacy. Here's an example. Somebody might claim that astrology worked for their friend because their birth star chart accurately predicted their success. Therefore, astrology works for everybody. But that's a fallacy. Just because astrology seemed to work for someone, it doesn't mean that it will always be accurate or work for everybody. One example doesn't make the practice universally valid. But we could flip it on its head, and a skeptic might say that astrology as a system is unscientific, so all astrologers are unscientific too. But that isn't necessarily true either. Assuming that the whole defines all of the parts is an overgeneralization, and that's a fallacy. Here's one more example. Somebody might say that this political party has one corrupt politician, so the entire party must be corrupt. But one corrupt politician doesn't mean the entire party is corrupt. One part doesn't define the whole. You can avoid the composition and division fallacy by asking yourself some critical questions. Is your conclusion based on sufficient evidence for the whole or the parts? Or ask yourself whether you're overgeneralizing, because we should try to avoid overgeneralizing. Be cautious when making sweeping claims based on limited examples. Look for counterexamples or exceptions to challenge your own assumptions. When you learn about logical fallacies and cognitive biases, and you can spot them in your own thinking as well as the thinking of others, you can avoid being manipulated by your own thoughts and assumptions, by what you see on the media, what you see on the news or social media, relationships. That's critical thinking.